the holy grail of the 401k, here to save us for retirement. All we gotta do is just penny pinch, save money, not touch it for 45 years, and we'll retire like a king. So they say. NBC actually made an article going over the history of this tax code, because really it's not a financial tool, it's just a tax code, and how and the progression of it over the last 42 years, because realistically it was only created in 1978. Will this be the new pension, or will this be the unfulfilled promise that America has for their citizens again? What's up, guys? It's your boy Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action. If you're here for the first time, normally we talk about real estate and making as much money as possible during a 30-day period of time while you cherry pick the very best houses for yourself today. I want to talk about the 401k, okay? And this article spawned it for me. I was actually on Clubhouse like I typically am, and we were talking about retirement, okay? We were talking about retirement and how we're gonna set ourselves up, mainly because politicians are having this kind of talk right now about how there may or may not be a Social Security benefit, you know, for the elderly. So realistically, my generation in the near future may not be able to get a monthly check from the government when we cannot work anymore. But now they're talking about getting rid of that. Okay. Now, before they actually started talking about that, the new kind of retirement was a pension. Okay. Pensions were for these bigger corporations like Ford, Wrangler Jeans, Exxon Mobil. If they had so many of these employees and they made so much of this money, then after that person worked there for X amount of time, they could qualify for a pension, and the pension or the company would pay out to this elderly that worked there for X amount of time, you know, until they passed away. They would still continue to get their benefits. Now, of course, a lot of these bigger corporations did not like having to have this additional expense, you know, 20, 30 years after an employee moved on. So a new tax code came out, which was supposed to be the new holy grail of the retirement market, the 401k. Okay, and realistically, the 401k was made so that way people could put money into an account tax-free. It would build up over time and be invested in the market, meaning stocks. And of course, over time, those stocks would grow consistently, you know, 4 to 5 to 6% annually. And by the end of the 45 years that you piled up money in this account, you would have enough to live like a king and be paid out from your retirement every single month. When we got told this story, because I'm only 32, when we got told the story of go to school, graduate, get good grades, get into college, so that way you can get a job with benefits, the 401k is that main benefit that we're talking about. Now, this article that NBC put out really brought out a couple things that concerned us because I never knew these particular things. So let's just go through the history of the 401k real quick and see how it's performing. Is this really going to be something that we can depend on, or should I stop putting money into it altogether, or should I reuse the money in a different way? Let's let this information, right, educate us on the 401k. It says that this original component of the 401k plan has become the dominant source of retirement savings. Okay, literally, if you have a savings in America, most people put their money in this kind of plan, in this kind of bank account, okay? And just so you know, I didn't know this either, but the first year that it was established, okay, the first year that it was established was 1978, okay? Now, I personally, when I first looked at this particular date, I thought to myself, why does this not seem like very long ago? Okay, if if we're telling Americans that they can retire and live like a king, if they should be putting money into a 401k, if these companies are providing matches, right? If we're putting so much thought and emphasis on benefits and, when working with a job, there should be some proven track record, right? There should already be people living off of, like realistically, you're not buying a real estate course from me if you can't see that I'm getting the results that you're getting. So because this plan has been created for us, we should be able to see other people living this out right now. But when I looked at this and it said that it was created, Congress passed the Revenue Act of 1978. I thought to myself, if this is a 45-year plan and it's 2023 right now, have we really seen a full cycle of this particular plan lay out? And I didn't like that. Okay, I honestly didn't like that, because that means that all of these years that I've heard about the 401k, that it's been even less time. So I was really getting sold. And I didn't like that. Now, just so you know, the government created this as a tax-free way to defer compensation from bonuses or stock options. Okay, because realistically, one of the biggest expenses that we all incur, everybody here that's a citizen in the United States, is taxes. And so if you can defer having to, get paid $1,000 and then $270 comes out for taxes, if you can defer that till later, essentially you'll have more money to invest, and essentially you'll have more money that can grow. Does that make sense? And also take note of this, because in the article it says defer taxes, because when I was brought up, it made it seem like we never had to pay taxes on 401k money. That's why they always said max out your 401k so you don't have to pay taxes on it. Okay. Now, it wasn't until 1981 that the IRS issued rules that allowed employees to contribute to their 401k plans through salary deductions. Okay, so in 1981, it was created in 1978, but in 1981, that's when it wasn't just a consumer benefit, it was a business benefit to sign up their employees, for this particular plan. Okay, in 1983, nearly half of all large firms offered the 401k, okay, as a part of their benefit package in 1983. By the way, I was born in 1990. Okay, so that's just 7 years before I was born. And literally in 1990, there was over 384 billion in assets with over 19 million participants. Now, when I first read that about 1990, okay, the verbiage that they used here sounded to me almost like some kind of syndication person. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been pitched and you've listened to the words that people say, the order that they say it in, the words that they're using, right? Just look at the article. If you look at the article, what they said is 401k plans held more than 384 billion in assets with 19 million active participants. When I read that line, I literally thought to me, okay, clearly somebody is setting this up to raise money, okay, for something. They're raising money to invest in something. And realistically, funds in a 401k are raised to invest in the stock market, in these publicly traded companies. So realistically, there's someone raising money to invest in these companies. I just didn't like that. I don't know, you guys let me know if you didn't like that or not, but we'll continue on with the history. In 1996, 401k plans exceeded over $1 trillion with 30 million active participants. And in 2001, they increased the maximum contribution to $18,000 with a catch-up option of $6,000. And today we hold over $5 trillion, okay, $5 trillion in these assets. Now, the number seems big, but realistically, the average person that has one of these 401k accounts right now only has $50,000 in a 401k account. And realistically, if you look at your particular monthly expenses right now, your house payment, your utilities, your car, your kids' daycare, all your expenses for the month, and you look at how much it costs you for the year, what does it add up to be? If the average person right now, and this came out in 1978, so essentially there's a 45-year plan, I think that's about 45 years now, and the average is only $50,000 in the account. Do you believe that the 401k is the holy grail of retirement accounts? You do the math for yourself. A better question was, if the 401k is not a good strategy in order to save for retirement, then what's a better strategy if we're already putting money into a 401k? How do we get around those fees if we already have money into a 401k, but we actually have a better strategy to explode our retirement account so that way it creates monthly cash flow? You guys engage with me a little bit. Do you guys have a 401k? How much money do you have in it? Do you think this really is the retirement tool of the future that's gonna have everybody sitting back, living easy breezy and wonderful at the age of 65 like it's sold to be? Okay, you guys let me know your feelings in the comments below. But if you guys stay tuned with me, go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna go ahead and make another video and share with you what I did with the money that I had in my 401k, and it wasn't a lot of money, and how I used that little bit of money that I had in my 401k to grow it in real estate and create a monthly cash flow check that I don't have to wait until I'm 65 to use, that I can use right now while I'm 32 to pay for my monthly expenses. Look, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.